Z-Trap. I'm Neil Zigman. I patented part of this trap. The part I patented was the trigger part. It's got a two-way trigger on it. Here's how my trap works. I mean, all dog-proof traps work really pretty good. Some work better than others. What I came up with was an easy way to stake them in soft and hard soil. I'm not going to run other traps down. They all, like I said, catch coon. With the Z-Trap, it's got a different type of stake. I want you to feel it. Move it back and forth. Move each one a little bit. Feel how solid they are. Okay, that was the solid one, right? Okay, what makes it really solid is the way it's made on the bottom. We got a big washer here, and this platform there keeps it stable this direction. The washer keeps it stable the other direction. On your other traps, there isn't a whole lot to keep it stable. We got different traps, and what I liked about my idea was when the ground freezes, and it's always going to freeze, these don't want to come out of the ground real easy. They're hard to get into hard soil. Same thing here, and it's froze. It doesn't come out very good. But with the Z-Trap, you don't need to go all the way to the washer. You just go part way down. That's all the further you need to. Another idea I came up with was a lot of times I like setting around den trees. I live in northern Iowa. It snows in December, and all of a sudden you can't set on the ground. So whatever the height of the snow is, you take a 3/8 drill bit, you drill into that den tree, staple it with a cattle panel staple, and there's your set. Now this could be a utility pole or a corner post, and the coon always runs alongside of it. They get scared, they'll run up the utility pole. Well, by having this staked here, or I should say stapled there, once the coon gets caught, they can hide behind the pole when the cars are driving by. If you want to go another step further, like in a box culvert or a round culvert, you can always take a cement bit, a 3/8 cement bit, drill a hole in that culvert or that bridge, drill one hole here, and then drill another hole, and anchor off that. All you need is one of them little plastic clips you buy at any hardware store or home center. Put that in there, put a screw. I use a 2-inch fender washer. I put a rivet on there. You can run a grounder cable off it and do whatever you want. Now, if you want a really slick way of catching coon along a creek, this is what I love to do. This is the bank of the creek. It's muddy. A lot of coons been running up and down the creek. Possum, skunk, few maybe muskrats are swimming. The mice are over here. So what I'll do is I'll drill a hole in a stake. When you drill that hole in the stake, you can stake this down in the water, so you're only going to catch one animal, the raccoon. It's going to come out here and get caught. The mice and your other non-targets are still up there. What I really love is, when the coon's down here, it's a wet coon. When it's up here, it's a muddy coon. You're going to spend more time cleaning the coon up than probably what the coon is actually worth. So far, the only thing I've covered is my stake, and that's a very important part of it. But the chain, I got a swiveling point here, a swivel here, swivel here, swivel here, swivel here. There's 5 different places it can swivel. When your other traps only got one, or they got 2 places where they swivel. There are 2 holes in the bottom to drain out the water so it doesn't turn into a rain gauge. The trap is powder coated. Being it's powder coated, you don't have to do any maintenance to it. A normal trap, you sit there and you buy it, you wash all the oil off of it, then you take and dip it in dip or paint it. This one, you put a name tag on it and set it. The springs on it are 127. They're a little bit bigger diameter than anybody else because I wanted some strength here. Being I got a stronger spring, I also went with a wider diameter restraint wire. That way it doesn't cut in the animal's arm as much. Now the trigger system is what I patented. On the trigger, it's got a 2-way trigger to where when the animal comes in, it's got 2 ways of getting caught. One is when the animal puts its foot down onto the trigger will come up on the outside and spring and catch a coon. If it doesn't get caught when it's pushing down, it will get caught when it's pulling up on the trigger. So you got 2 chances of getting it. You know, Jim, tell me what's going to catch more coons. A 2-way trigger or a trigger that's a 1-way trigger. The 1-way trigger is going to be operated like this. The coon can come in there and touch that trigger. It's not going to fire unless it's pulled up, and then it will fire. Do you have any questions on the trap?